Street rappers unfortunately get killed all the time, but what's going down in Florida right now is wild. Kodak Black's homie Syko Bob got the tragic news that his own mother was shot and killed, and today we're breaking down the shocking beef that has opps sliding on each other's moms. Syko Bob came up in Broward County, Florida. Not much is known about his early life, but he's allegedly been in the trenches since he was a kid. He's been dropping music videos since 2018, but he never really popped off in the industry even with help from his homie Kodak. And that's why he's allegedly still been active in the streets. Before we get into the shocking and tragic news about Syko's mom being killed this week, let's dive into how the situation got so crazy. It's not exactly clear how it all started, but rumors say it involves another Florida rapper named HMT Trey and his mom. Back in 2021, a woman named Misty Hopkins was walking back to work at her nail salon. It was around lunchtime on a Friday, and Misty was on the phone with a friend while she was headed to the shop. That's when a dude in a black hoodie rolled up on her. The friend Misty was talking to her to say, "Wow, oh, you scared me. What are you here for?" That's when the dude upped his strap, and the last thing Misty's friend heard was the shots going off through the phone. It was a brutal murder that went down in broad daylight, and it was clear from the jump that Misty was definitely the target. She wasn't robbed after the shooter killed her, but showed everyone that the only goal was to take her out. Misty was loved by everyone in the community and didn't have any enemies, but it's a different story when it comes to her son, HMT Trey. He's from a hood that has issues with Syko and his people, and a month after Misty was killed, someone tried to take out Syko. Syko and two homies were driving down the road when a black BMW pulled up on them and started letting off shots. Whoever was driving the whip Syko was in tried to floor it and smash off, but they ended up crashing into some other cars and stopped. That's when the BMW rolled up again and the dudes inside let off more shots. Someone in Syko's whip shot back and the BMW drove off, but that wasn't the end of the story. In August 2021, HMT Trey and his homie Liberia Sig linked up for the track FTO, and Liberia took shots at Kodak and his homie Wiz the Wizard when he rapped, "He a dead nigga. What the fuck I look like beefing with a red nigga? Get up on his ass, aiming at his head, nigga." And "Chopper knock him out his element. Them niggas bitches. They protected by the president. And I got proof. They know we spinning, so they slime bulletproof. And talking magic make you disappear like poof. Catch that famous ass nigga in them hanging out that roof." Then just a couple weeks later, things took a brutal turn. On September 17th, 2021, someone was walking their dog in Hollandale Beach around where Wiz the Wizard grew up. When they passed by an abandoned house, they noticed something laying under a yellow tarp in the front yard, and underneath it was the body of Wiz the Wizard. According to the police, he had been beaten to death and probably dropped off at the house later. It was already a crazy situation, but then a text leaked from someone who allegedly saw the body, and rumors started flying that Wiz the Wizard's head was cut off and his body was chopped up into pieces. Wiz's murder never got solved, but he had all kinds of enemies in the streets. By the time he was 17, the police claimed Wiz was running a crew of over 100 dudes who was kicking in doors and robbing homes all over the county. He got booked on burglary, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, grand theft, and resisting arrest back in 2015. Then 1 year later, the ops caught his brother Wajid on the street and killed him. After Wiz came back home, the first thing he wanted was to get payback for his brother, and he started hunting down a dude named Denzel Williams. Williams told the police that one night he was walking down the street and noticed a black Nissan following him. He turned around and saw Wiz in the car, and that's when Wiz started letting off shots. Williams made it out alive and went to the police. He said that Wiz thought he was involved with Wajid's death and had been following him a few days before that too. There's a good chance that Wiz would have been locked up after the trial, but the case fell apart after the only witness turned up dead. In August 2020, Denzel Williams was standing outside of his house with his dog. A woman named Amber Campbell who lived next to him came over to pet the dog, and they started talking. And that's when the shooter rolled through and started letting off shots. Denzel and Amber were both killed, and the case against Wiz the Wizard got dropped. Rumors say that Wiz was killed as get back for Williams, but it turns out the situation might be way crazier than that and tie right into Syko Bob's mom being murdered and could even involve Kodak himself. Wiz and Kodak met for the first time when they were both in juvie. They was tight from the jump, and after Wiz had his attempted murder charge dropped when Williams was killed, Kodak signed Wiz to a sniper gang label. Linking up with Kodak in the rap game was huge for him. Wiz had the opportunity to make it out of the streets and get some legit money, but issues behind the scenes came out almost immediately. Yak only gave Wiz 30 racks when he signed a sniper gang, and Wiz wasn't happy about it. They started arguing on social media about the situation, and everything got messy. Wiz said he wanted to buy out his contract and said he had $100K that he was ready to give Yak. Wiz even told his fans that Yak had blocked him. Kodak obviously wasn't rocking with how he was handling things. He dissed Wiz for airing their business out on social media and said they still had homies they could link through, but Wiz was just clout chasing. They was obviously having some major issues, but Wiz went live on IG and tried to claim there wasn't no real problems. According to him,
me and bro, like, that's my nigga though, man. It ain't no crazy shit, man. Like I said, if it's that deep with a fault, it ain't no crazy shit. It's just, at the end of the day, business is business.
But it turns out that the beef might have been so serious that Yak sent hitters after his own homie. We'll take a look at how Kodak is allegedly linked to all of it in a second though. Less than a week later, a video came out showing Syko Bob getting into it with someone inside a mall. According to reports, it was HMT Trey who was clowning Syko over his homie Wiz the Wizard's death. That's when Syko clapped back and dissed Trey's dead mom. Ever since Wiz died, there's been rumors HMT Trey and his homies were involved, but some people think Kodak had him killed and it's all connected to a brutal murder that went down this year. On March 28th, the police responded to a call about an SUV on fire at around 6 in the morning. According to news sources, there was an explosion in the street, and that's when everyone in the neighborhood looked outside and saw the whip completely on fire. Firefighters showed up to put it out, and that's when the situation took a shocking turn. Inside the back seat was a body that got shot multiple times and burnt so badly that they couldn't even tell if it was a man or a woman. Plus, there was an empty gas can laying right next to the SUV, so everyone knew it was a hit and not an accident. The body inside was a rapper named 26 CJ. CJ had been dropping music since 2020, and rumors say he signed a deal with Kodak just a few months before he died. But after allegedly signing with him, CJ hopped on social media and said he was gonna air out everyone who's been playing internet games and not keeping their business in the streets. He ain't call out Yak by name, but CJ threw a subliminal at him by saying he wasn't gonna beef with anyone who got shot and never got their get back. Then he tagged Syko Bob and said, "First Syko Bob, now me? You still want him, or what? Let's not get too messy." Some people think CJ was talking about the time Syko got hit up on the highway, but he could have been referencing the gun charge Syko got booked on last year. The cops pulled him over for speeding and smelled weed in the car, and when they searched inside, they found a loaded strap between the seats. It sounded like CJ wanted to expose Yak for something, but was killed before he got the chance. And it probably involves Wiz the Wizard too. After Wiz died, Kodak gave a speech after donating $20K to the daughter of a cop who died from COVID-19. During the event, he talked about Wiz and said,
I just lost a friend, very close friend we've been friends for over 10 years. I just lost him yesterday.
What made the situation really sketchy though is when Yak dropped the track Back for Everything and raps, "Yeah, Double M gang, but I ain't talking Rick Ross. Double M gang, I took that shit from Wiz. Rest in peace, my nigga, but it's his fault. The way you let them kill you like a jit. Talking to Wham, you saying the same, did you like a lame. Sending a shot at his dead homie was crazy." Then Yak added fuel to the rumors he was involved with Wiz's death when he hopped on Kendrick Lamar's track Silent Hill and rapped, "I caught a bail off a Google app. I'm the type to get my shooter whacked. I had to survive off a tuna pack. 5% tin on the whip, like, who was that?" Wiz the Wizard and CJ were homies, and CJ released one of their collab tracks after Wiz died. But according to rumors, Kodak paid CJ to snake his own homie. After CJ died, the opps dissed him, but also posted pics of Wiz the Wizard and said, "Long live Wiz the Wizard." Wiz's cousin Wham Spin the Ben hopped on line 2 and said, "Nigga played with Wiz and got set on fire. Couple more you fuck niggas finna get the same treatment." It's not clear how Syko Bob was involved with any of the beef between Yak and his other homies, but now he's dealing with his own tragic loss. A few days ago, the news broke that his mom, Dorothy Smart, was shot and killed while she was sitting in her van at her house. Just like HMT Trey's mom, Misty, this looks like it was a targeted hit and not an accident. Someone rolled up on her and started letting off shots in the middle of the day, and so far, the police have no idea who pulled the trigger. After the news broke, HMT Trey's homie, EBK Hatch, posted Syko Bob's track Stepdaddy on Instagram and wrote, "I heard a lady who's about 50 got hit up with them switches." Stepdaddy's a diss track aimed at Liberia Sig, where Syko claimed he was hooking up with his mom. Syko also talks about Sig's mom on social media and said he can't diss him while his own mom is hooking up with him.
A nigga can go fuck a bitch baby mama, old lady, whatever. You can't talk to a nigga fucking your mama. I don't care what you do. You can do 1,000 gangster shits. A nigga fuck your mama. Well, how can you beat that? That's your mama. You can't mock that coochie, boy.
Right now, nobody has any idea who murdered Syko's mom or why, but the situation in Florida that's going down right now might be the craziest wave of violence in rap history. Most street rappers just beef with the ops, but now mothers are being brought into it and tragically losing their lives too. Kodak hasn't spoken on the situation at all, but everything going on with his homies beefing with each other and dying in brutal ways is real sketchy. There's nothing directly tying him into it all, but at some point, the truth about all of this will definitely come out and we'll know for sure.